Hello and welcome. Thank you for taking the time to watch this short video. My name is Samantha Garrett. I'm a product specialist here from Pegasus software, and over the next 10 minutes or so I'm going to take you through a short demonstration of one of our business intelligence tools for Opera 3 called Dashboards. Dashboards provides a flexible way of displaying key business data in real time directly from your Opera 3 system. Now, it's not just a tool for your high-level executives. Yes, your MDs, your FDs and your sales directors can all use dashboards to effectively monitor key financial indicators, track sales performance, monitor cash flow and stock levels. However, all staff, such as operations staff, administrators and account managers, can take advantage of using the dashboards to give them instant access to accurate, up-to-date customer account information and drill down to underlying data, saving time without even needing to log into Opera 3. So let's log into Dashboards. Users can log in over a standard internet browser such as Internet Explorer, as you can see here, meaning that all you need is an internet connection and a user ID and password created within Opera 3. This will ensure that users are only able to retrieve information that they have access to. So let's log in as manager, which will allow me to extract critical data stored within my Opera 3 system back at the office, allowing me to spot issues and make better informed decisions, and it's telling me what I need to know without telling me everything. Upon logging in, a user-friendly interface is loaded, and as standard, 47 predefined out-of-the-box charts are ready for you to use straight away, many of which include some powerful drill downs. Depending on my setup, I can also choose how many charts I wish to view at any one particular time. I can have a minimum of 1 or a maximum of 16. So perhaps I'd like to view 4. However, I'm going to stick with viewing 6 at this particular time. Then I can simply start to build up my dashboard, selecting charts, rearranging, customizing, adding filters to fit my own personal preferences, so I'm building up a dashboard to fit the way that I need to see the business. Perhaps I'm interested in monitoring my cash flow, so my money coming in and my money going out. Or perhaps I want to see either how quickly my customers are paying, from either an individual customer perspective or an overall company perspective. So I'm going to look at my company average debtor days. I can easily start to customize my chart, so perhaps I'd like to choose a different chart style, or I'd like to start changing the colors to perhaps preferences that I find easier to interpret. I can also drill down into underlying data. As you can see here, I've got more of a breakdown of the last 12 periods. I can instantly export the data into Excel for further manipulation. Perhaps I want to save a copy, or I'd like to send a copy over to other staff. Or perhaps I'd like to look at my average debtor days from an individual customer perspective. So we'll go back to my dashboard and I'll select the average debtor days chart. So let's filter by a particular customer. I'm going to select Abington Hire. And there we can see that their average debtor day figure is fairly high, so perhaps I want to get onto credit control to start chasing payment. I can very easily start to build up side-by-side comparisons by duplicating the charts and applying different filters. And by the same token, I could look at the flip side and start to look at my creditor days. Keeping in line with looking at our customer Abington Hire, let's have a look at our customer balances. I can easily sort by clicking on the column headers within a grid, as you can see here, and I can also drill down into the outstanding sales transactions of a particular customer. What's more, I can drill down into a PDF image of the invoice as long as it's held within my Opera 3. So perhaps as an account manager, I've been able to log in myself, perhaps away from the office, to get a copy of an invoice for a customer that's requested one without having to phone somebody at the office and getting them to get that information for me. We could monitor our customers over credit limit, so I can see their credit limit, I can see how far they are over a credit limit. Again, I can customize the way the chart is presented to me. I can drill down into underlying data. I can export to Excel. I can blow up to full size. So perhaps if we're in a management meeting, I might put this on an overhead projector. It might be that I want to see how many sales orders we've had come in today. So I'm going to choose today's sales orders. And there we can see we've only had 2 orders that have gone on the system today. So perhaps I'm going to have a word with my sales and marketing team to find out what campaigns we can start to plan to push these orders through. There are many different ways that we can refresh the dashboards. Yes, we say they work in real time. So yes, I can refresh at an interval that is convenient to me. Or perhaps I want to specify an automatic refresh interval across my entire dashboard. So while we've been talking, let's have a look and see if any other orders have gone onto the system. So I'm going to hit refresh. And there we can see there's a new order that's come onto my chart there for Adams Light Engineering. So let's have a look at some of the other standard charts that are available. So moving down the list, it might be that I want to have a look at my top 10 slow-moving stock items. So I can see items that I might want to use to drive forward a marketing campaign to help shift them. It might be that I want to look at my top 10 profitable customers. Or perhaps my top 10 debtors. Or I might even want to have a look and see what opportunities are currently in my pipeline. Now if I just blow that up to full size, it might be that I only want to filter on perhaps current opportunities. And as you can see, I've got more of a colour-coded system going on there, which is more meaningful to me and is making it easier for me to see the various different closure probabilities. Now as we've seen, yes, there are 47 predefined standard out-of-the-box charts ready for you to use. But of course we recognise that all companies are completely different. You all have different parameters and you're all going to want your own charts. So we also provide a dashboard manager which will allow yourself to build and create tailored specific charts. So let's create a completely new chart from scratch. So we're going to go into Opera 3 and the dashboard manager resides underneath the reporting header within the ribbon bar. I'm going to click on charts and we're going to create a new record. We'll give it an ID. Now it might be that we want to take one of those standard charts and use it as a template to tweak and change the parameters. However, I'm going to choose a completely new chart from scratch and I'm going to select to create a new multi-series chart. Let's call this My Bank's Debits and Credits and we'll save it away. The first thing that I need to do is actually tell it what fields and where it's pulling the data from. So I'm going to go into Action, into Data Details. Now for those of you that have the Reporter module, this should look quite familiar. So firstly, I'm going to choose the table that I'd like to pull my fields from. So we're going to go into Nominal Banks. I'm going to expand out the Accounts table and I'm going to take firstly the account code, then the description, and then we'll scroll down just a little bit and I'm going to take my debits year to date and my credits year to date. And that's all I'm going to do at this stage. So we'll click OK. Now I'm ready to go through and preview the chart. So we'll go into Chart Details. It's loading up a preview of the chart so far, as you can see here. And now I can start to go through, customize, tweak and specify my particular parameters and make the chart look exactly how I want to. It might be that I want to start adding on filters. I can turn on and off the ability to allow the user to either export the data or to change the settings on an ad hoc basis. We also have a chart gallery available, which will give you more of a library of all of the charts that are available and give you hints and tips on how best to plot it. It might be that as default, I would prefer my chart to load up as a 3D column. Personally, I prefer looking at the data that way. Perhaps I want to go into my debits and credits, which are my 2 series there. I could either reorder them, I could start to change the labels that appear. So I might call this my debits year to date. And I might want to go through and specify which colours I'd like. So let's put perhaps my debits in red and then perhaps the credits in green. Once we save, it updates the preview for us. Now remember I said earlier there are lots of different ways we can refresh the dashboards. Yes, we can refresh it at a time that's convenient to us, but I could, if I wanted to, say that I would like this chart to refresh every 60 seconds. I might want to add in an X-axis title, so I might say that these are my bank accounts. I might also ask it to animate when it loads up. Hit save, and straight away it updates the preview for us. Now yes, there's also lots of other different parameters and settings that we can go through and specify here. However, I'm happy with that, so I'm going to save it away, close it down. Now to be able to view that over the internet browser, I'm going to tick published and save it away. Now if we go back into our dashboards, we'll do a quick refresh. We'll see the new item available for us from the selection list, and there we can see my bank's debits and credits. There is so much more available within the dashboard manager. For example, we can start to create our own drill downs. We can start to assign user filters, so perhaps to restrict by territory or even down to account level. So for example, who has access to which accounts. Now you might have noticed up towards the top that I'm currently viewing my dashboard. So within my dashboard, all of those standard charts are available for me to use. But what happens if perhaps I want a cash flow dashboard, perhaps I want a sales pipeline dashboard, or perhaps a purchasing dashboard? So let's finish off by creating a multiple dashboard. We're going to go back into the dashboard manager and we're going to load up dashboards. I'm going to create a new, I'll give it a title, we'll call this my sales pipeline dashboard. I could give it a description. Remember I said we can specify an auto refresh across the entire dashboard. So for my sales pipeline dashboard, I'd like it to automatically refresh every 2 minutes. I'm going to define layout changes so I can actually pick and choose how many charts I want displayed. What charts do I want to be available from the drop down? Well, I'm only going to choose my sales pipeline charts. And then I can define which users actually have access to this dashboard. So I might give myself as the manager, I'll give Steve and Sam access to this sales pipeline dashboard as well. So we'll save it away. We'll go back into our dashboards. We'll log out. We'll log back in as manager. And there we can see that we've got access to the sales pipeline dashboard, which only has available for selection the charts that we specified. So as I've said, you can create as many different dashboards as you want to, restrict who has access to them, and you can also create your own drill downs onto another dashboard. So as you can see, viewing and analysing the data is very easy to use, requires minimal technical ability, and it provides users with the information they need to start identifying trends, and they can also use it as an alert system for revealing issues and making better informed proactive decisions, telling us what we need to know without telling us everything. Thank you for taking the time to watch this short video. For further information, please contact a Pegasus partner or visit pegasus.co.uk.